So last time on Dragon Ball Super VE, the battle between Goku and King Vegeta finally ended, and just before King Vegeta left as the victor, Goku revealed that Bardock 2 had been revived and was currently training, causing the king to remain standstill in shock, while the scene shifted back to Bardock, where after mastering Ultra Instinct, Whis revealed Bardock would still be no match for Goku without being able to transform. Despite this though, Bardock's extreme growth in such a short amount of time led Whis to believe there may be some similarity between Bardock and Broly, and so in today's manga, the final part of his training will begin when the two legendary Saiyans finally meet on Vampa. But before we begin, support this video and channel by leaving a like right now as you're reading this and watching till the very end for its jaw-dropping conclusion and reveal. Enjoy. So our story continues after Whis had just revealed to Bardock the existence of yet another Saiyan who survived planet Vegeta, Broly, and the mysterious similarities between him and Bardock. Bardock, intrigued by this sudden outburst of course, then carries on his questioning asking, "Broly you say? Sounds familiar. I can't quite remember where from though. I've been dead for so long. I guess I'll know for sure when I meet him. Yet another Saiyan. This is just like being back on Vegeta. Where is he then? Let's go find him now, sorcerer. What's the hold up?" But Whis, who though pleased at the eagerness of his student, can only look back and reply, "Ha, it's been quite a while since I saw you so pumped up, Bardock-san. But luckily for you, due to your son, I do know where he is. We can go now, but I must warn you, he is unstable." Huh? Unstable? The mere sight of Whis for the first time warning him of an individual immediately piques Bardock's interest as he queries on, "What exactly do you mean by that, sorcerer? Isn't he just another powerful Saiyan? I didn't think things could get any more unstable than that Kakarot of mine." To which Whis then turns around and begins explaining further, "Powerful, yes, but it seems this Saiyan in particular has been brought up for the majority of his life restraining his power, and once it unleashes, not even he can control it. In fact, Bardock, despite not possessing any god form himself, the last time he let loose, neither Goku nor Vegeta were any match for him, even when they fought him 2-on-1. What? Bardock, of course, is taken completely surprised by this new information. Up until this point, he was convinced his own son was the strongest Saiyan, the second being Prince Vegeta, and now his whole mindset was changing. Wait, this new guy was stronger than Kakarot and the Prince? That's amazing! Bardock's look of shock then slowly morphs into a brazen smile, continuing while pumping his arm in anticipation. "Ha ha ha! Way to get me fired up, sorcerer! Now I really need to meet him. What a guy! A Saiyan with power to surpass Kakarot! And through Saiyan transformation alone! Now that's my kind of fighter. With him, I'm sure I can finally get where I need to be. I'm ready, Whis. Show me this Broly of yours." And with that being said, and his goal now resolute, Bardock then grabs onto Whis' shoulders, as Whis looks back at him and says, My, you are an eager one. You truly do remind me of Goku-san. Hold on tight." Just like that, the duo then blast off with the help of Whis' staff. Meanwhile, back on the desolate plains of planet Vampa, a familiar couple are seen peacefully eating 2 chocolate bars, with crucially one remaining left in the container next to them. This is good, Cheelai. What are these again? I told you, Broly. This is called chocolate. Earthling chocolate is so much better than the ones on Frieza's ship. With the two scoffing down and finishing their chocolate bars at the same time, both Broly and Cheelai's hands slowly reach simultaneously for the final chocolate bar, getting closer and closer, until finally their hands inadvertently touch awkwardly. Immediately, the obvious romance and tension in the air between the two is palpable, as both the brute Saiyan and female alien blush instantly. Broly can hardly speak at this point, awkwardly saying, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize there was only one left." To which Cheelai responds just as softly, No, it's okay Broly, you can have it. I should be watching my figure anyway." But soon enough, as their eyes meet, a silence lands on the atmosphere as neither side can find what else to say. Slowly but surely though, their attraction breeds a sheer magnetism as the two find themselves getting closer and closer until they find themselves within touching distance of each other. Cheelai now closing her eyes and beginning to pout her lips, while the confused Broly finds himself wanting to do the same. Soon enough, Broly too closes his eyes, and as the two get so close, even the warmth of their breath can be felt on each other. Broly and Cheelai have their first "Who's that?" But suddenly, before anything can happen, Broly yells in alarm, having detected something foreign on the surface of planet Vampa. Cheelai, obviously disappointed but also worried for Broly, questions him, "Broly? What's wrong? Did something happen? Did I do something wrong?" But coldly now, with more important things on his mind, Broly stands up and turns his back, replying, "Cheelai, someone has come to planet Vampa. Someone strong. It could be Frieza looking for us again. I'm going to check it out and get rid of them if it is. Stay here and take care of Limo. Got it?" To which the slightly overwhelmed Cheelai responds, "Oh, okay, but just wait a second." But without a moment to lose, Broly shoots off at full speed, ready to meet whoever arrived head on without fear, leaving the worried Cheelai to just scream in his dust, "Broly, no! Please, be careful." It's not long before Broly is seen shooting down the plains of Vampa at an unprecedented speed, breaking the sound barrier like a sonic jet, scouring the area for even the slightest sign of an invader. As he flies though, he thinks, "Where are you? I know I felt something around here." Until finally, "Over there! What's that?" Broly notices something in the distance, a strange alien-like figure, as he increases his speed, heading head first for the foe. And to his and everybody's surprise, standing there is none other than Lord Frieza, standing there atop of a rock, with his arms folded and his signature sinister smirk, calling out to the Saiyan saying, "Ah, Broly, how nice of you to finally join me, my favorite little monkey. Now be a good boy and come down for a little chat, will you?" Instantly, Broly is reminded completely and vividly of the death of his father, the death that was at the hands of the monster that lays before him with a smile. He begins to mutter as he cannonballs to the ground saying, "Frieza! You monster! You'll pay!" As the mutter turns to a yell, and Broly's rage immediately causes his eyes to turn yellow with a black pupil, and the first stage of his Ikari form to instantly be activated. Now coming at Frieza with even more speed and his complete Ikari state, Frieza can do nothing but stand still, curiously with a nervous face, as if it wasn't obvious that this was the reaction he would incite. Regardless, the Frost Demon then thinks to himself as the large mass of Ki approaches him, well, this is going just as planned, I think. But before Frieza can finish that thought, Broly crash lands right on top of him with a ferocious impact, the impact of which can be felt miles away as debris and dust particles are sent everywhere. So far away that even in attempting to be hidden Bardock, who can be seen mysteriously hiding behind a wall, is forced to peek his head out to see the massacre unfolding before him. So that's Broly. Doesn't look like anything special, but that is some brute strength he has. I'll give him that. Doesn't even look like he's transformed yet with that black hair. Broly meanwhile is left enraged, as soon he realizes he hit nothing but thin air. He looks around maniacally like a vicious animal screaming, "Frieza! Come out, you scum!" But it doesn't take long for him to immediately spot Frieza once again. Right above him, with a provoking smirk, Frieza laughs from above. Oh, Broly. It seems even after all this time, nothing much has changed about you. How disappointing. Are you somehow even slower than I last remember? Don't tell me this is how you plan to avenge your poor father. How pathetic. Father? Just the mention of his father from the mouth of his killer sends Broly into an almost uncontrollable rage as he powers up even further within his Ikari, his eyes momentarily almost losing their pupils as the floor, ground and planet itself begins to shake under his almighty power. Whoa! What the? Still hiding elsewhere, Bardock is left shell-shocked as he watches on. He now realizes something isn't quite right about Broly, saying, This power, it's unreal! What is that? He's not a Super Saiyan, but he's transforming for sure! Is this what Whis was talking about? But as Frieza looks on worryingly, it's soon revealed to us, the viewer, that this is no real Frieza, but instead, Whis in disguise. It seems in order to bring the best out of Broly for Bardock to see, Whis temporarily transformed himself into Frieza, using his angel powers with a slightly worried figure, then thinking to himself, finally, it seems his full power is starting to come out. It seems the sins of Frieza still have yet to be forgiven by young Broly. Just the mention of Paragus seems to set him off. But without warning, Broly shoots off once again, pinpointed at Frieza. Huh? Broly is so one-track minded at this point, he almost instantly appears right before the disguised Whis, as Whis thinks, since when did Broly improve his speed this much? But it's not long before Frieza's face returns to normality as he tries to keep in character. After all, no matter how fast Broly gets, he will still be no match for the speed of an angel. Yeah! And having said that, as Broly lunges in to slam his fist on Frieza, the transformed angel instantly and easily dodges the attack. So fast, it almost appears as his body doesn't even move. But this just serves to agitate and anger Broly more, who immediately keeps on his assault. This time though, with a cocky smile, Frieza opts to block Broly's attack outright, probably in an attempt to not make it too obvious to Broly that he's fighting an angel who has mastered Ultra Instincts. No way! But even this leaves Broly in a state of shock, as it appears not only in speed, but also in strength, Broly has been beaten by the unlikely Frieza. The last person to ever block his punch like that was Vegeta, and he was sent through a mountain for his efforts. In a mocking way though, trying his best to emulate Frieza's mannerisms, Whis then flips into the air over Broly, to the shock of the Saiyan. What now? Before landing calmly and nonchalantly on the other side of the confused Broly, saying goadingly, I'm over here, monkey. What's wrong? Is this all you can do? I haven't even gone golden yet. What a disappointment. With his arms folded, he then continues to laugh uncontrollably, just to push Broly even further, saying, Oh Broly, You really are making a mockery of your father now. What would he say if he saw you trying to avenge him with such a pitifully weak power level? Dear me, I guess if I want to fight a real Saiyan, I better find that one other monkey, Goku. But this final taunt proves to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, as Ikari Broly roars once more thunderously, his body bulging up even further as veins begin to protrude even on his face. And just like that, Broly reaches his final full power legendary Super Saiyan form, now noticeably larger than before, his hair a strange shade of yellow and green, and his pupils now completely having disappeared in his rage. He yells one final time, "Frieza! Don't you ever mention my father again!" That's Broly? Bardock meanwhile is left shell-shocked at what he's seeing. For the first time, he witnesses a strength beyond Goku and Vegeta, and it's a power level he can actually sense for once. He immediately falls on his back in awe, just watching from the ground and continuing, "What is this? Whis wasn't kidding! This truly is a power to rival a god's! He looks just like a first form Super Saiyan! This could be perfect!" The fake Frieza, looking on now with a beaming smirk, pleased that his plan ultimately worked, then carries on the charade saying, "Finally, monkey, it was about time you stopped messing around. This is your true power. A power I only wish Beerus-sama had a chance to see. But I must now finally reveal to you, Broly, I am actually..." Huh? But before Frieza can reveal he is actually Whis in disguise and not the killer of his father, the angel unbelievably finds himself caught by Broly. But not in an area he even thought was possible, as Whis yells internally, "No! How could I forget? That damn Frieza also has a tail! Serves me right for ever pretending to be a disgusting frost demon. This isn't good. I was careless." And just as Whis thinks, his mistake indeed gets taken full advantage of by the full power Broly, who then proceeds to yell, "Huh?" grabbing Frieza's tail tightly as he viciously then pulls the fake Emperor with all his strength, causing Frieza to be pulled with so much force the G-force alone makes him moan in pain. But not for long. Because with a huge crash landing that shakes the core of Vampa, Frieza is slammed onto the ground back first by the enraged Broly, who is far from done as he yells, "Take that!" The ferocity of the attack is enough that not only is the fake Frieza visibly damaged, but even Whis on the inside feels the pain of the attack, having not actually been hit head on like this in millennia. Whis thinks, "Ugh, that's going to hurt in the morning." As expected, his strength is just continuing to increase. It seems the level he reached against Gogeta was far from his true limit. But I'm not going to be the one he unleashes it all on. I need to get through to him now. And as Broly, now on top of the defenseless Frieza, stands up and cocks his arm back, Whis attempts to yell, "Broly, wait, I'm weak!" Over and over, Frieza is punched point blank repeatedly, his face moving from side to side forcefully, spitting out blood continuously as he does so. At this point, Bardock can no longer even comprehend what he's seeing. He tries to remind himself that this is actually Whis who's being pounded on and not just Frieza, but this can't be possible. He says to himself, "How? He's landing hits on the sorcerer, the so-called angel. Has this Saiyan even managed to overpower Ultra Instinct?" Of course, not realizing that now Whis is trapped under the brute, there is nowhere for Whis to even dodge. Still taking damage straight on, attacks that would have killed any other mortal long ago, Whis calmly thinks inside the body of Frieza. Oh dear, now that he's this close, not even I can avoid these, let alone reason with him. These punches are too fast and only getting faster. I guess if I can't tell him who I am, I'll just have to show him by force. It's a pity. If it wasn't for that damn tail, I'd have had fun with you for a lot longer, Broly-san. And with this being said, from far off, a mysterious yet familiar staff that had been planted into the ground begins to break the ground beneath it and levitate into the air, before suddenly it takes aim at a particular direction and shoots off. Zooming across the field at a speed even faster than Broly had moved at any point, Whis' staff heads with conviction directly towards its owner. Much to the surprise of the mid-beatdown Broly, who unfortunately can only notice its keyless existence only moments before it reaches him. Wait a second, what is... For a moment, Broly, still on top of Frieza, can only lay still in confusion, like a deer caught in headlights, as the staff gets closer and closer to him rather than to Whis, when suddenly... Broly is impacted hard across the face by the staff shockingly, which doesn't seem to lessen in speed at all. The most unexpected but yet effective attack Whis could have pulled off, and a feat never before seen in Dragon Ball. Consequently, Broly is of course instantly blasted off across the ground to crash into a nearby rock formation, now freeing the disguised Whis. Finally! And quite worryingly, in a sight the universe hopes to never see in real life, after getting onto one knee and grabbing the Spectre, Frieza then stands there, now on his feet, sinisterly smirking, and in his hands, holding the staff meant only to be wielded by those of angelic descent, before commenting, well, that took longer than expected. But I'm sure even the boneheaded Broly should have gotten the message by now. On second thought, it depends on whether he's closer to Vegeta or Goku-san in intelligence. I can never be sure. Frieza! But it seems in this form at least, Broly is definitely closer to Goku. And within seconds of crashing into the mountain, bursts out full of anger as if nothing happened, heading straight into the fold of the fight, still not figuring out at all who he's really attacking. Stop! Enough of this, Broly-san! I'm not Frieza, I am! Suddenly, the disguised Universal Emperor, who can no longer take any more of this madness, having shown Bardock what he wanted to show about Broly's powers, then suddenly becomes engulfed in a cloud of smoke, which momentarily stops Broly in his tracks. Smoke? What's going on? Whis! As Whis finally shows his true self, revealing that it was him all along to Broly, saying, much better. Feels better to no longer be that filthy creature. Broly, do you understand now? It is I, the angel Whis, who you fought briefly once on Earth. I'm sure you know from that experience how pointless it would be to continue your attack on me, don't you? To which the memories do start flooding back to Broly, as he mutters, Huh? Wait, it's you! Only referring to him vaguely, as Whis' name was never actually mentioned to him before, until now. The Angel! You were there when Frieza killed my father! Why didn't you stop him? But whether he's Frieza or not, in this form, Broly's mind is in constant rage, finding any excuse to attack anyone in his sight as he lunges at Whis once more. But this time, Whis has no reason to pretend, and with complete ease expected of an angel, Broly's punch is stopped easily with just a single finger of Whis'. Well, hello to you too, Broly. But let's not waste our time with such a futile action. I have someone better you can fight. someone you may even recognize. And as if just on time, behind the pair, a set of feet slowly arrive, landing with a thud before revealing themselves to be none other than Bardock, straight-faced with his arms folded, now no longer hiding, having seen everything he needed. Kakarot? It's you! You finally came back! The sight of the familiar face, of course, immediately stunning Broly, who naively believes it to be his now friend, Goku. Immediately, as if like magic, the enraged Broly then completely reverts back to base, his pupils now visible again, and a smile on his face as he looks on at who he believes is Goku. It seems, after the way things were left, Goku has become a calming source for the Saiyan. Bardock, having expected this, just smirks, knowing exactly what's going on, thinking, it's just as we said. He's completely fooled. Maybe that sorcerer is good for something after all. As Broly calls out, Kakarot, you took your time. I thought when you said you'd come back to train, it'd be faster than this. But I'm happy you're here. And Bardock, in response to this, just remained silent, just walking towards Broly, trying his best to not give away who he really is just yet. Not until... With extreme speed and accuracy, picked up from his training with Whis, Bardock shockingly plunges his fist deep into the gut of Broly, causing the younger Saiyan to retch in pain. Kakarot, what are you doing? To which a cold Bardock just looks back and says, How insulting to think I look as ugly as that brat. I'm no Kakarot. I'm his father, Bardock. And you know, standing this close to you, I finally just realized who you are, Broly. You are the son of Paragus, the son of my brother. Son of... What did he just say? This shocking information, of course, leaving Broly almost speechless, and us viewers too. For the first time ever, a connection between Broly and our hero Goku has been made in the VE universe. Whis, meanwhile, who this is also news to, is equally surprised but far more withdrawn in his reaction, having been surprised by these Saiyans one too many times already, as he thinks to himself, My, well this was an interesting turn of events. We came here to this forsaken planet to examine if my hunch about their similar powers was true, but this may just explain everything. Some time then passes on Vampa, and the three get reacquainted with each other in a more relaxed environment, with more details over why Whis and Bardock even came being shared, and also more information about the shocking family connection between Broly and Goku. Broly begins, So, if I understand this right, you're telling me you're my uncle, and Kakarot, he's my... And Bardock, now butting in with a smile, then reassures, Yes, Broly, Kakarot is your cousin and my son. I truly can't believe how things turned out. But for both mine and Paragus' sons to have survived, this just seems like fate. I only wonder now if Turley's son survived also, to complete the trio. Broly, hearing the name Turles for the first time, is then left even more confused, questioning, Turles? Who is that? Another Saiyan? Father never mentioned any Saiyans other than Kakarot and Vegeta. And so Bardock, understanding the overload of information Broly must be dealing with, then explains, Yes, Broly, Turles is another Saiyan from our home, planet Vegeta, and he is mine and Paragus' other brother, and your other uncle. There were three of us, myself, Paragus, and Turles, and as far as I can remember, we each had sons all around the same age. It happened so long ago, but I even remember seeing you as a baby, Broly. You were said to have a ridiculously high power level, but it wasn't long after that planet Vegeta was destroyed, and me along with it. I had no time to spend with my own son, let alone with you. When I eventually saved Kakarot, I'd hoped to save you too, but for some reason, on that fateful day, both you and Paragus were missing. I'm guessing that old geezer one-upped me and had the same idea. But it's amazing to have seen what you have grown into, and your incredible power, especially on this hellhole. I hope you know, my brother would be proud. A somber mood then falls on the scene, as Broly looks down in deep thought thinking, My father's brothers. I can't believe this. For all this time, I thought I was alone, that it was just me and father. But why? Why would he never say a thing about you? But unfazed by Broly's valid questions, with folded arms and a serious expression, Bardock explains further. Well, Broly, that answer is simple. If you hadn't noticed already, it's because we Saiyans are not the most brotherly and family orientated. It's often that we are born with siblings, but you should know, not long after conception, Saiyan babies are sent off with teams of other Saiyans to destroy, splitting apart siblings immediately. Those random team members we grow in battle with then become more our family members than anyone else. Heck, both Kakarot and Vegeta have siblings too, but you wouldn't know it the way they go on with their lives. Your other cousin Raditz is dead according to Kakarot, and as for Prince Vegeta's brother Tabo, I don't think even he knows where he is right now. This is just the Saiyan way, how it is and always has been. Broly, now having heard this explanation, slowly begins to rationalize the situation, responding, I guess that's true. In just this short time with Cheelai and Limo, they've grown to be more than just friends. But tell me then, why did you come here then? Just to tell me you're my real family? Because if that's the case, I already have one, and I don't need any more. But looking down almost with a bored and unbothered look, Bardock says, Don't make me laugh, kid. I saw Kakarot for the first time in decades only a short while ago. I'm in no mood to play uncle with you. Before then nonchalantly pointing at Whis and continuing, The real reason I'm here is because of that angel over there. He's been training me, and he told me he saw great similarities between us. So I came here while he pretended to be that freak Frieza. I observed those incredible transformations of yours from afar. Whis seems to think I could very well master the same forms you use. I didn't believe it at first, but now that I know we have the same blood running through our veins, I think he may be onto something. So Broly, are you up for it or not? But upon hearing this, Broly appears with a mixture of relief and disappointment, as he lets out a big sigh and says, So that's the reason. I should have known being Kakarot's dad, it'd be something to do with training. Before then jumping off the rock face and landing on the ground. Almost as if done with the conversation entirely, Broly then turns his back and begins walking away, much to the surprise of Bardock, who asks, Huh? What now? Where are you going, kid? To which Broly looks back while simultaneously walking away and says, I'm going home and not coming back. Listen, I appreciate you coming all the way here, but I'm not interested in taking on a student. I'm here just to survive and take care of my friends, my new family. They rely on me, and I can't be leaving them alone while I waste time. Fighting an equal like Kakarot is one thing, but training an old man is another. I'm sorry, but if you truly came here expecting me to say yes, you just wasted your time. Trying to not make their trip wasted, then calls out to Broly and says, "Wait, Broly-san. You know, if you do agree to train Bardock, I could arrange for Goku and you to meet. You know what he's like. He's probably forgotten. Oh, and I can even get him to bring you more supplies. The ones he gave you before must be running out by now, right? Don't you think this new family of yours would appreciate another year's supply of delicious Earth food?" And suddenly, Broly's face changes, seemingly tempted, but not at all by the mention of fighting Kakarot again, instead letting out, Can that year's supply of food include a year's supply of chocolate bars too?" As a wave of imaginary bars fall from the sky in his daydreams like a slot machine. Whis, now knowing he's got his man, then with a sinister look replies, "Oh, why of course, my dear Broly. More chocolate bars than you could ever imagine. In fact, how about I add 2 years supply instead?" 2 years? Now that's what I call a deal. Alright then, let the training begin, uncle. Instantly causing Broly's face to light up and his demeanor to change, as he now comedically accepts to train Bardock for the sake of sweeties. This of course just leaves Bardock looking awkwardly on at this exchange as he finally mutters, That's what made you want to train me. Not the love of battle, but chocolates. These second generation Saiyans are truly something else. Paragus, wherever you are, give me strength. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag VE17 in the comments down below, and let me know if you need me to start pumping out the sequels to this series once again. Just how far will Bardock go under the training of Broly? Let me know your ideas, but if you want to fund the next chapter of this manga, just head over to my Patreon, where for just $3, you can support the next chapter to come out ASAP and also receive a ton of manga goodies in return too. But if you just want to watch more of my videos, just click on one of these two on the right. But until next video, guys, cheers.